what happens in those situations is, and I think women don't realize this, we as men, we really pretty much, I know you guys hang out with cliques. There's this term in video games called carrying. So when you carry someone in a video game, you basically, they suck at the video game, you have to do all the work, and you bring them to the win. That's how most men feel when it comes to courtship with women. We have to do everything. So women have the privilege of not really acknowledging or knowing all the work that goes into actually going from matching with you on a dating app or meeting you all the way to sex and then moving forward from that. There's dozens, if not hundreds, of potential points of rejection. So it could be, if you ask her out too soon, some girls might say, oh, let's talk a bit longer. Okay, cool. Let's talk more, getting the number. There's a lot of logistical steps going all the way from first meeting you to sleeping with you that we as men take care of that women don't really do or think about. So him pulling back is just him being like, well, I've been carrying you. How about you put in a little initiative? After a period of time, if you aren't starting to put in mutual effort and meeting him, then guys are going to be like, either she's just not interested or I'm tired of carrying this relationship. So, at least in my experience, a lot of times when these guys hook up with you and then they don't want to see you again, maybe it's because they're dogs and they just wanted to hit it, or it's just like, wow, that was a lot of work. She's not putting in any mutual effort. Like, if all you're offering to a guy is sex, that's all that they're going to want.
Yeah, no, I think for like first 2 dates, I definitely kind of take the back burner because I kind of want to see that someone's invested a little bit, because if they're not going to be, then I assume that they're doing what they did for me for hundreds of women. And then it's also like I could find someone who would plan the first and second date easily.
Sure.
I'd say third date is when I try to start kind of chipping in a little bit more, like planning it, paying for my share.
Yeah, but just to perhaps at least attempt to explain what was going on there is, like I said, guys have this feeling of, wow, I'm doing all the work, and then like if the girl doesn't really start like putting an effort, then, so you said he started pulling back. That's just probably him being like, when is she going to contribute to us building a relationship?
Teamwork.
Yeah.
So
what does that look like then?
I'll get to that. So men are typically expected, in terms of courting women, men are typically expected to ask you out, pay for the date, set up the date, plan the date, and then, go for the first kiss, move things forward, handle everything. So if that's what men are expected to do in the early stages of building a relationship, what are women expected to do? Brecky, go ahead.
Show them affection.
Tilt the mic
Show them
down.
affection, and I don't know. I feel like when you date someone, you're also like a friend. Like they're attracted to you, but they're also as a friend. I don't know.
I think you should be responsive, and if you actually like a guy, you should respond and put in the effort as well. I don't think that guys should just be the only ones just to put in all the effort.
Okay.
This reminds me of a saying. There's a saying right now on social media, and my friend literally said this to me like yesterday or this morning or something, but it's like when it only works out better when a guy is actually more obsessed than the girl.
Nope.
And like that's that's what made me, like, you talking about like doing all the work, putting in all the effort, like that makes me think it relates to that situation of like a guy liking a girl more and putting in that effort to see whether or not she's going to, I guess, accept the date, like accept moving forward with the relationship. And that's what I was just thinking.
As a guy, you need not be obsessed with a girl to acknowledge that if you want to get anywhere with women, you're going to have to you're going to have to take on the burden of initiative, because women don't really approach guys. They don't hit on guys the way that men approach women, because as women, you can kind of just sit there. either on Instagram, dating apps, or in person, men will come to you. Women don't really be hitting on guys like that.
Well,
Yes.
Brian,
Go ahead.
I think pursuing a woman who is
Closer.
feminine and pleasant and kind and smart isn't a burden. It should actually be something that a man enjoys doing, and that's a good thing that men carry, as you're saying. It's a good thing that they're responsible for showing their interest very strongly and pursuing.
Well, I mean, this almost comes back to our discussion about vulnerability, because you just expect men to just handle everything, and we're just supposed to be satisfied with your lack of enthusiasm and your lack of effort in building a relationship.
I don't mean with lack of enthusiasm in response. I mean, like, if a woman is, interested back, obviously she should show that. But that doesn't mean that she should start like opening doors for him or something.
Well,
that's
not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But men, there is this certain fatigue of dating where we feel like we always have to be the one initiating, setting up the date, making the first move. Like, I mean, I can ask you all, have you, of all the first dates, voice crack, of all the first dates you've ever been on, have you ever asked a guy out? Or sorry, let me rephrase that. Of all the first dates that you've ever been on, more often than not, was it the guy who made the move or was it you?
The guy. I feel
usually
like that's a
does,
guy's
but
job.
I have.
A guy's
I've been like,
job,
"You wanna
okay.
Go out.
I guess probably the guy, but I mean, I don't really go on like dates. Like, I think hanging out with a guy
Well,
is like,
that's hanging out, dates. Let's use those synonymously.
okay.
The guy.
I feel like it's been like half and
50-50?
Yeah.
Okay.
The guy.
The guy. Yeah, the guy.
I was never asked out on a date before my current.
What about with your boyfriend?
Yeah, he asked me
Brawl
out.
super chatted $100.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. What about you?
The guy.
Okay. So, word?
That's how it should be.
Yeah. I feel like you're
That's how
being
it should be.
contradictory because you say like guys don't like masculine women who, go up to guys and ask them out.
I think it's emasculating to be the pursuer of a man.
I agree.
You're supposed to let him take that role.
No,
the
that's
lead role.
that's a fair point, but I think there is, to some degree, a fatigue that men experience when it comes to always having to be the one that makes the first move and always initiates. Like, and it could
that
be,
will be relieved
M.
in
Martin
bed.
super chatted $100.
that's all. If that's all you
You
bring,
have
Well,
lots
I
of
feel like
imps in this
hold on.
I'm a different animal. Here's my proposition. Private jet. Fly you and your hottest girlfriend to me. You'll have to sign an NDA with auto